You're 24, peak physical condition, could run circles around me right now. How did doctors describe what happened to you?
That's something I want to stay away from.
This video is brought to you by Pure Talk, ladies and gentlemen. I call them my cell phone company. If you're sick of these woke companies like Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, you need to consider Pure Talk. Jump on a bandwagon like I did and get you a Pure Talk phone. Veteran-owned company, and customer service is right here in the United States of America. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Well, I'm saying you get a lot of data. Not unlimited data. You got to pay a little more for unlimited data. But you get blazing fast data, unlimited talk and text for $30 a month. And if you want more data, most of y'all don't even use the data. If you want more data, you can pay a little bit more. But $30 a month for blazing fast data, unlimited talk and text, that's a no-brainer for you guys to switch to Pure Talk. And let me tell you this. You can keep your cell phone. So if you're with a company, you got a brand new phone, keep your phone, keep your cell phone number, and it takes about 10 minutes to switch over. You get 30-day money-back guarantee. I want to make sure I get you all the points, 30-day money-back guarantee. And also, in order to take advantage of this deal, dial pound 250, say Brandon Tatum. That's pound 250, say Brandon Tatum, and get half off your first month. Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime we go live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, the interview with Damar Hamlin. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about this whole incident. I know a lot of people disagree with me initially when I came out and said that I don't think that there's any sign that will consistently or verifiably connect Damar Hamlin's injury with the Fauci ouchie. Now, a lot of people got mad at me and say, seafood ain't what you think he was doing. And if he just passed out when he was on the field and just was running around and he just went, whoop, then I'd say, that was weird. But when I see an impact, and we all know it could be a freak accident, and you see what happened to him, I say, well, I don't know. It's not even verified that he even got the Fauci ouchie. How do we know? We have no evidence that he even got it. So it is reasonable, in my opinion, to believe that it may have been occurred from the particular injury that happened to him. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's something else. It seems to be more logical that it's the injury. But the interview has come out. In the interview with Michael Strahan, people say I look like Michael Strahan, which I don't know. I don't see it. But the interview with Michael Strahan is another controversial topic. So you had the controversial topic of him wearing a Jesus jacket, and now you got an interview where people are like, see, he a clone. They ain't really him. Look, he trying to avoid questions. Well, he could be avoiding questions because it has something to do with the Fauci ouchie. But I'm gonna give an alternative to why another reason he could be avoiding questions. But we're gonna watch the interview. It's only 3 minutes, and we'll have a discussion afterwards. Roll the clip.
Now another Bills player is down.
The 24-year-old surviving sudden cardiac arrest as millions watch live on television.
Well, this is the last thing you want to see.
Let's go back to January 2nd. How were you feeling before the game and when you were out there? Normal?
Super normal, feeling great.
Can you tell me what you remember about the game up until the hit?
I remember the things that we were focused on going into the game, just trying to get a win.
Just seconds after Hamlin made a typical tackle, he stood up and then suddenly collapsed.
You have the hit. You make the tackle. Do you remember standing up after you make that tackle?
That's something I don't really want to get too deep into in the details of.
Have you gone?
Now, that's where people get crazy at. He said, I don't want to get into the details of what happened or whether or not I remember standing up or not. He's not being evasive in the interview because he just spoke about everything that happened, even up into his injury. Now, some people may think, well, because, you know, they're trying to hide something. I'm telling you right now, just based on my training and experience, there's a lawsuit somewhere. There is a complaint lawsuit somewhere. It could be against the Fauci ouchie, or it could be something else. And therefore, describing something like that could put you in jeopardy of not fulfilling your lawsuit or not giving you a best argument, exposing everything on the interview. But let's watch the rest of the interview because there's a lot of other interesting things here.
Back and looked at the video.
I watched it once or twice while I was in the ICU, but I really couldn't watch it too much. So,
And what was that like to watch that?
just a crazy feeling. I can't even describe yet. Something I'm still processing.
You were not.
So he says he watched the video. He watched it multiple times. He gave a good explanation of why he don't want to continue to watch it. So it's hard. It's hard for people to watch it and they wasn't there. You got to think he died. He's watching himself die, and they revived him. They had to bring him back to life. So of course it makes sense for them not to watch it. But you see how he evaded whether or not he remembers standing up, but he didn't evade the fact that he saw the video and that it was a crazy feeling rewatching the video.
ICU. You were on a ventilator. You were sedated for several days. What is the first thing you remember when you started to wake up?
Just hearing family members, my mom, my dad, friends that were there. First thing I said when I woke up was, "Did we win?" I was
dude.
thinking about the
Do you
game.
realize? When I saw that, I said, okay, he's an athlete. He's committed. Because you wake up and you're sitting there going, did we win? Your mind is still on the game.
I'm competitive. I'm playing with my full heart, everything I got in me. That competitive nature in me was just still just thinking about the game, and I just wanted to know, did we win? Like I
And
said,
what did they tell you?
he said that I won. Yes, I won. I won the game of life.
Your doctors in Cincinnati, they called your recovery remarkable. I mean, 3 days on the ventilator, your neurological function is intact. I'm sitting here talking to you today. I feel like I wouldn't know anything ever happened to you. Why do you think your recovery is so remarkable?
First and foremost, just God, just a blessing, It was God's way of just using me and uniting the whole world in prayer.
Now, so he talks about his recovery. He talks about how miraculous, and he's bringing up God. This is the part that I want to just touch on real quick as we finish this. Why can't we just acknowledge God? Why can't we just worship God? Why can't we see God in this? Why we got to go all off on the deep end? I think even if it has something to do with the Fauci ouchie and maybe he's finna sue them, I don't know. That could be the case. But why don't we focus more on God and not focus on that? This is one of the most incredible situations that have brought so many people together in the name of Jesus. So many people have come together. They're praying on ESPN. It bothers me that people are so focused on conspiracy because we really don't know. But focus more on conspiracy than the actual reality of what this situation has created in the kingdom. I don't understand why most of the controversy is whether or not it was because of this or because of that, or he's a clone. I mean, he's not who he say he is. They trying to hide something. It's like, bro, this is one of the biggest God moments in American history. I think it was one of the biggest God moments in American history. They even honored him in the Super Bowl, and they thanked first responders in conjunction with what happened with him. Prayer all around the country on TV. People that don't even agree with each other. People that hate each other, all praying for this young man. That's the miracle. They raised millions of dollars to help out kids in his nonprofit. That's the miracle. That's the conversation. But instead, since it's out there, I got to talk about it.
After Hamlin was discharged from the ICU, the question on so many minds, what caused his heart to stop beating?
You're 24, peak physical condition, could run circles around me right now. How did doctors describe what happened to you?
That's something I want to stay away from.
How are you doing physically?
Lawsuit. A lawsuit. Do you remember standing up? Do you remember what was the cause of what happened to you? He said, I don't want to talk about it. Doctors talk about your recovery. Did they explain what happened to you? I don't want to talk about that. People may be interpreting this as him trying to cover it up. I see this as him saying, I'm suing somebody, and it could be because of the Fauci ouchie. I mean, I don't know. Somebody's getting sued. That's why he don't want to talk about the details of that. And I would argue that, he may be suing individuals, too, that have come out and mocked him and come out and said certain things about him that was not true. And so he ain't going to touch on that because that's going to be in the lawsuit. I'm just throwing my 2 cents out there.
Every morning, every night, I take 10 deep breaths to myself, and it puts everything in perspective for me. So I'm doing great.
Do you want to get yourself back on the football field?
Eventually, that's always the goal. But I'm allowing that to be in God's hands.
And did the doctors tell you it's possible?
It's a tough situation. They can't really tell because it's a up to me thing, I guess, or it's a long road.
My vision was about playing in the NFL and being the best player that I could be. But God's plan was to have a purpose greater than any game in this world.
So what was it like for you to see that outpouring of love from the community that you were a part of?
Couldn't believe my eyes. But it just showed the unity of our league, as athletes, and even bigger than just the athletes. And I really feel like the whole situation showed that we can all come together.
I said that your recovery was remarkable, but sitting here talking to you, you're remarkable, man.
Appreciate that.
Great
Now
interview.
another Bills.
Now let's talk about this just real quick, and I'm gonna finish it up. I want you guys to know, because some people have never been involved in sit down interviews like that. They don't play the whole interview, right? They cut that interview up into slices and pieces that they think is most efficient and effective, and they'll put pieces out. Even if they have a 30-minute interview, they probably talk for 2 or 3 hours, and they cut down what they want to put to make the interview even better. And in this particular interview, I don't know if it's a 4-minute interview, just the clip that I have that's 4 minutes, around 4 minutes. They cut things. You can see it cut. You can see it go places. They may have gotten deeper into the conversation about his injuries, and they may have cut the part where he says, I don't want to get into it, because after review of the interview, his lawyers may say, you can't talk about that. And they could have gone back and cut him just saying, I don't want to get into that. He may not even been talking to Michael Strahan. They may have had him record that so that they could re-edit it and package it the way it needs to be packaged, because he may have gone into it and legally he shouldn't have. So there's a lot of things that go in these interviews. The big story to me is that the kid was an incredible opportunity, or God used this young man as an opportunity for people to come to the Lord, for people to understand God's grace and mercy, understand how God operated in miraculous ways, and bring the country together. That's what this is about. It's not about whether or not he took the – it's not about that. It's not about, big pharma and it's – we have to be able to – see, let me tell you this. I think it's discernment. Because I have the Spirit of God in me, I feel like I can see that God don't want me talking about that. God don't want that to be the message. That's the message of the flesh. That's the message of the carnal man. That's a distraction from the devil to distract you from seeing the true purpose of what happened to Damar Hamlin. If you're a type of person that when you see Damar Hamlin and you see the situation, the first thing you think about is then that means the devil has gotten, in my opinion, that means the devil has gotten a hold of your consciousness to where he's convincing you to look here when you should be looking here. When you see Damar Hamlin and you see the clip of him collapsing, your first thing should go to look at God. Look what God did. That man died on the football field. He was dead. When your heart stopped beating, you die. They revived him multiple times. And most people never recover and live through what he did. But the whole world was seen in prayer, and God delivered in front of everybody. You can't tell me that's not a God story. Even if he did get the thing, God overcame that, because a lot of other people that you see get it, they dead. They pushing up daisies right now. They 6 feet under. But see, regardless of what situation transpired, God did a great thing and used Damar Hamlin, through Damar Hamlin, to do incredible things. This should have been a moment of us coming together in the name of Jesus and not pointing the finger at what organization is trying to kill him and he not really alive, or he just saying that, he covering something up. And come on, man. All right. I love y'all. See y'all on the next one. I'm out.